just let you know, you sound like a serial killer when you're trying to go and get it. Nothing is like being on the phone with UPS. Like, you guys happen to have a wooden crate, like about this size, fits a person, and like, don't worry what I'm using it for. So yeah. Welcome to Voice Acting Year 1. Basically, what this panel is if you've been interested in voice acting, this is where you get to go and ask your questions and figure things out. Okay, so if you've ever been to like other celebrity voice acting, like panels and whatnot, and you've gone like, hey, how do I get in? And they go, well, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to help you, all right? We're going to talk equipment, we're gonna talk auditions, we're gonna talk as many things as possible, and then we're going to open it up to you guys. So this panel is largely Q&A. Think of those questions now. It can either be about voice acting, it could be about experiences each of us had. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my first voice acting gigs, I got drunk for it and then proceeded to record. Still amazing. I still love it like to this day. But yeah, like, huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Aku Aku.
I don't think you even told me these details.
I know, we're sitting here like, what the heck?
Like,
Yeah, for Aku Aku, I was drunk.
Very nice.
So,
And
yeah.
now you all know a little bit more about Stephan that I didn't even know. And I'm just joking.
The studio told me. It's not like I sat there going like, no, I'm gonna get trashed. No, when the director says, hey, drink, it's like, okay.
All right, it's like method acting. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But quick note also, the slides that are coming up, feel free to take pictures of them. A lot of what is in the slides are things that we get asked in every single panel. So we're going to give you that information up front. That way it gives you more time to ask additional questions. Sound good? Cool.
There we go. So yeah, we'll go with the quick introduction. I am Stephan Watson. I'm a voice actor based out of Utah.
I dragged him here. He loves it. He's lying.
Things you might have heard me on. Let's see. Again, Aku Aku. For a few different parody things. I'm the voice for Bojangles fast food. I've also done quite a few different Ford and Toyota commercials. So yeah, it's always fun to not sound like me for a Ford commercial. And then a litany of audiobooks and like little indie video games. As well as I also do on-screen stuff. So if anyone, I don't know why you would watch Hallmark movies, but if you like Hallmark movies, especially if they're Christmas themed, if there's a black person walking around in the background,
Stephan.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. All right, cool. Hello, my name is Jenna Caine. I have done audiobooks, commercials, video games. I am kind of known for a character named Taffy the Pink Hippopotamus. Kids cartoon that kind of went viral, ended up getting aired at San Diego Comic-Con and a couple of other locations and won a whole bunch of awards. So I'm famous for being a hippo, and I love telling people that because I sent in my audition. I was like, this isn't gonna go anywhere. I'm really tired. And I got it. So yeah, so that's me. On to you.
What's up, guys? My name is Shevonne Brown. I'm mostly known online as Ugami. I've mostly done audiobooks. I've done a handful of Japanese to English traveler's guides. I've also done a touch of commercial work, mostly like military-related things. And I've also done some sports commentary, like that voice that comes in and is like, oh, check out this team, and back to you, and said. Other sports commentators named, yeah, I've done that. Very much like Stephan, I have done quite a bit of on-screen acting, or like background stuff. Same thing with the Hallmark stuff. You see a tiny little Asian girl walk by, that's probably me.
Am I the only one not in Hallmark?
I've also done other commercial, like background type work, stuff for the Olympics, things like that, my proudest projects. But yeah, we're out here doing everything we can acting-wise.
Cool.
there we go.
Back to you, Stephan.
All right, so now we will go and jump over into these slides. So again, one of the first things that we wound up getting asked for is equipment. What should I go and buy? Now, everything that we're gonna be showing you guys over here, it's going to range from like, yes, you can go and get this entry level, and then other things of like, you're gonna spend a pretty penny on this for. Realize you just have to basically stay with whatever is most, is gonna be like within your range. So like first, when we're thinking about microphones, all right? I'm going to tell you all right now, the things that you are going to want to stick with are those first two words, condenser and XLR, okay?
Yes.
So XLR is this little cable right over here. Condenser, this is not a condenser microphone. This is a dynamic microphone. So if you hear that little bit of like feedback and reverb, it's because it's taking all of the audio from everything around me rather than focusing right here. Okay, so those are what you're gonna wanna go and get. You will actually see it in auditions that they will say, has to be XLR microphone. So if you go and get like a Blue Yeti microphone and all of a sudden it's USB, I'm telling you right now, you are not better than an audio engineer. This is what they do. Don't shortchange yourself.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah, that first microphone on the list, the Audio-Technica AT2020, I still use that today. It is like an $80 microphone. It is fantastic. And I've recorded everything from audiobooks to like I did the last I did one for Built Bar. So like you cannot necessarily tell the difference as long as you actually focus in on it. But then you see other things like the Rode NT2A.
That's the one that I use.
Fantastic microphone. You want to talk about it for a second?
No, because I'm new to it.
Okay, cool. I will
my new mic.
tell you the technical aspects of that microphone.
Yes, please do.
So with that microphone, it is a very good broad range condenser microphone. So it is a little bit more expensive. So if you happen to have a kind of like a even voice tone, it's actually a pretty good one. For me, I have a vocal range that is deep. It bottoms out on that microphone. So you want to really kind of see what might work for you. Audio-Technica AT2020 just sort of goes over all of them. The third one down, Shure SM7B, that's probably going to be the last one I talk about real quick.
Yeah.
You'll see that one a lot on like podcasts and stuff like that. It's like a $400 to $500 microphone. It's not bad. It is not a voice-over microphone. Okay, so just because it is more expensive does not mean it is going to be very great range for that. It is pitched very high. So like if you're going to be doing something that involves singing, you're gonna peak that microphone almost instantly. Okay, so again, things to go and look out for, but again, I would definitely recommend that Audio-Technica AT2020 or the AT2040.
Yeah, I still use my AT2020 to this day, and Stephan was actually the one that gave me that recommendation as well.
There you go.
And yeah, I love that thing. I love that thing. And I think another important thing to note here with all of these different mics is that different price range. Don't feel like you have to go and spend a crazy budget out of the gate. If you're just starting out, go ahead and get that AT2020. Test out how that feels and see if this is something that you truly want to pursue.
There we go. From there, now we start getting into your interface, which is also your mixer. Okay, so like that preamp. The Focusrite Scarlett, I'm going to tell you all right now, just go for that one.
Yep. That's
It is one of the most user-friendly and fantastic interfaces that are out there, especially, was it the Generation 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was one.
Don't you have a Focusrite?
I use a Scarlett Solo.
Yeah? How is it?
It's my fave.
I am using a Behringer Xenix Q802. I can't even remember all the next of it. It's got so many dials on it that it's maddening to look at. All right. It's fantastic because I know how to use it, but I'm telling you guys right now, just because it has more dials and knobs on it does not mean it's going to be better for you.
No,
Okay.
especially if you don't know what they all do, which is why I use my Scarlett Solo. It has like 2 knobs, so it's very, very easy to use. But
I should probably simplify mine because I'm still using that same one. And
It's
it has
usually
a lot
when-
of knobs, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to twist all of these.
That's usually the calls that I wind up getting from people like, Stephan, I don't know what this does. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Research your equipment. It goes far.
yes,
From there, software, Audacity. I'm just going to tell you guys, Audacity. Just stay there.
yeah, just stay.
All right. It is free. It is very user-friendly. I'm telling you guys right now, like especially a year and a half ago, they started giving you a more dynamic way of normalizing, which is making all of your audio kind of like even. Fantastic software. There's nothing against something like Adobe Audition, but you have to go and pay for that one. And if you don't make a lot of money, then yeah, that one gets kind of rough. There's also like Reaper that's out over there. I've never used it. I don't know.
I haven't used it either.
So there's that.
The only reason I used Adobe Audition for the longest time was because I was still a university student. So it came with my tuition, and you bet I was going to take advantage of that for as long as I did, as long as I could. And my process there was I would record an audition and then go back into Audacity to do like little cleanups there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving again. I'm gonna move through these kind of quick because I want to give you guys enough time to,
Yeah, so just feel
for
free
questions.
to take a picture of it, and
Yeah.
we'll chat about it after.
Classes and demos is probably that's probably the second most often question that we wind up getting.
For sure.
And I will tell you guys this right now, because you all are in attendance today, there is something special at the end that is only available to people that actually attend this panel. We do not publicize it. It does not go out on any sort of website. It is only for people that are sitting down in the seats that you guys are in right now.
And it is new. We just got it, and we're very excited about it. So anyway, continue.
There we go. Okay, so voiceover classes. Again, you can go and do things like your local community college or your college. It's not like those are good resources. The biggest thing that you want to look for is make sure that it's from someone that actually has credible work.
Yes.
And especially in the type of voice acting you want to do. So if someone does a lot more audiobooks, but you want to do anime, listening to that person isn't going to help you out a whole lot, all right? There is a gigantic difference, okay? But some of the different resources you can use are some of the more professional side. Real Voice LA, I'm telling you guys right now, that is one of the best places to go for classes and for demos, okay? And yes, the demos are going to be a little bit more expensive. We'll get into that. But I'm telling you, the work that they do with it is fantastic. From there, let's see. Rachel Messer, another fantastic voice actress that also does classes and things like that. I would put her like on one of like my top 5 list of actual voice actors to be able to go and learn from, especially if you want to do things with animation, promo, and commercial.
I think she also does classes with Real Voice LA.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. On top of that, not necessarily just that list that's over on the right, the actual acting coaches, I'd also recommend Melissa Medina. So if you do a lot of if you do a lot of commercial work, and if you happen to speak a second language, that is a huge market. I'm telling you guys right now, if you happen to speak a second language naturally, you can get a job with Netflix today. All right. It is something like a lot of people do not think about it, but I'm telling you guys right now, dubbing or doing ADR for a movie that is hitting a streaming service will pay you ridiculous sums of money. Okay. So another thing for you guys if you happen to go and speak another language. And of course, you'll see different names up over there. Steve Bloom, Richard Horvitz. They do their own classes. Again, you're learning from people that are actively in the business right now. One of the greatest things with that is that not only are you learning from someone like that, but they're going to help you in a way of getting you jobs. There's nothing better than having an actual accredited voice actor go, hey, I've got a project that I want you to be on. Okay? It happens more often than you would think. All right? Because for most voice actors, the idea isn't really competition. It's whoever gets on the project, if they do it super, super well, that means that production studio gets more money, which means they can do another project. All right, so when everyone thinks like, oh no, it's super competitive, it's not. The amount of times that one of us winds up sending another person like, hey, here's an audition for this and whatnot. It happens regularly. I do that probably about like 3 or 4 times a week now that I think about it.
Last week or something.
Yeah, I did. So there you go.
I'd also add in there, a lot of these voice actors oftentimes are casting directors themselves. So by taking their classes, you are literally putting yourself in somebody who is looking to find people for their projects. So that opens up a lot of doors for you as well. And a couple other ones that I would recommend that aren't on this particular list that I've personally taken classes with. I've taken classes with Cassandra Lee Morris, who does specifically video game voice acting, anime voice acting. So if you're looking into that realm, her classes are both a lot of fun to take and you learn a lot, and she is a casting director herself. And I've also taken classes with Voiceover Camp. And with that particular one, they do have specific classes on whether you want to do games, anime, animation, audiobooks, commercial work. So you're getting a lot of experience in these specific realms where you do need to understand the inner workings of this type of voiceover if you want to land those kinds of jobs.
There we go. Okay. Demos.
Yes.
Does anyone not know what a demo is? Okay, great. So your demo is basically, it's almost like your preemptive audition. It's to show your range. Okay, so when you're thinking of your demo, you're going to be thinking about an animation demo, a commercial demo, an audiobook demo. Those are things, again, they're going to show your range, not the work you've been on. That's your reel, but just what you're capable of doing. Okay, so when we're looking at who should produce it, who should edit it, one thing overall, I don't even think we have, we don't even have another slide for it. I'm going to say this, and it is almost the most hypocritical thing that I will say on this panel. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
I say this because I did mine myself. And there's nothing worse than all of a sudden, like finally getting like a little bit of a foothold, and then all of a sudden having like a director sit there and go like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you're over here. I was listening to this demo like a few years ago, and they start saying things that you did in your demo, and you start listening like, no, that 100%, like that was actually mine. So I've heard like horror stories about my demo when they're talking to me and just going like, oh dear, I know I shouldn't have done that, but like, so yeah. Again, the list that we talked about before, Real Voice LA, places like that, they actually do them. Again, it's kind of the same thing with the classes. Get it from someone that actually is working, that has credible things to them, and on top of that is actually like going to direct you in a good way. Don't just have any writer do it, a good one.
And you don't have to have one to start out. Like when you're first starting, like a lot of the time you can do auditions for things. It is good to have one eventually, but I got one, I think, a little bit into it. I was trying to work on getting experience before I actually put one out, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, auditions.
Ta-da.
There are multiple places to find auditions. All right, I'll start more towards the bottom first. You can use things like castingcall.club. All right, there are good resources over on there. I personally didn't use them, but another panelist that we usually have, Tabitha Garland, she started out using castingcall.club very like almost exclusively. So a lot of like fan dubs and things like that get resourced there, as well as just like little small indie projects. It's actually a credible kind of like learning experience. You probably won't get a whole lot of like high paying jobs there. Sometimes one or two will pop up, but it still is something to kind of help get your feet wet. From there, it really depends on what kind of voice acting you do. So if you want something like audiobooks, ACX, all right, that's where you're going to go and get all the Audible audiobooks. Some of them are very friendly in the way that they approach them, and other ones you will get stuck with, oh God, okay, I might as well say it. You will get stuck doing an audiobook that touts itself as like, oh yeah, you only have to do like 13 voices, and you know, it's only like a 200-page book, and then all of a sudden you get it, it's 640 pages and 64 voices later.
I remember you telling me about that.
Oh yeah, fun fact about
true story.
Yeah, fun fact about that one in particular, they forgot to go and tell me certain accents. So there was one character that I wound up doing through the entire book, found out at like the last 30 pages, the character was Irish and I had given him a Kentucky accent because the book was set in Kentucky. So yeah, nothing like sitting there going like, and Scott, I'm throwing the book away. All right, so yeah. But again, from there, other resources you can use. Okay, on the pay to play, this is where we're going to be a little bit controversial. Okay, we put 3 resources up there because they are very common. I'm going to tell you right now, don't go to them. All right, they are Voices, Voice 123, and Actors Access. All right, yes. There's good work that kind of goes with them, and if any of you guys have had experience with them, let me know. But it's something where, especially with like Voice 123, they will sit there and they'll give you like a weekly log of like, oh yeah, we just had Pepsi and all that, and we just had this and da 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 da. You have to pay $600 just to be able to get an audition, and on top of that, they have a short list, which is their top 20 to 25 voice actors that you have to try harder than ever to be able to get on. I have booked one thing from Voice 123. Okay, I will admit, it got me a lot of money. Okay, but I put in something close to like, my audition counter was at like 1,000, like I think it was like 1,200 or something like that. So it's like 1,200 over 4 years and got one thing, as opposed to Backstage, where I book from Backstage every single month. Okay, there's like, their entry is only $99 for the first year. It's $120 after that, and it pays for itself. It's where I got Bojangles. It's where I got my last Ford commercial. It's where I've now gotten like 3 different movies and a couple of different promos and things like that. It is a very good, credible spot. So I'm now trying to direct more people Backstage. If you feel like you're ready to start putting yourself out there, start trying to go there.
Yep, I'm on Backstage. I like it.
Yeah.
I think I'm the one that told you to try it out, didn't I?
Huh?
Wasn't I the one that told you to try it out?
I can't remember.
I
can't remember if it was you or Facebook.
I think it was me because I remember talking to you about it.
I'll give credit to you.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
there's that.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Backstage yet, but I'm pretty convinced. Like, I've kind of dabbled in the other 3, but never fully committed to them because I haven't really heard good things about those other 3 sites from multiple people. So that's kind of scared me away from them.
Yeah,
So
like,
there you go, Backstage.
Yeah, Backstage.
I'm in the process of 4 different NDAs from stuff that all showed up on Backstage. So yeah, NDA, non-disclosure agreement. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about. So if all of a sudden I get very giggly, like, yeah, it just means I can't say nothing. I keep on holding myself back because I'm trying my best not to cuss right now.
Keep it family friendly.
I'm trying. It's difficult. One of the reasons why we always put up this panel up over here is just because a resource that a lot of us open ourselves up to is you guys can actually talk to us. So especially with like Instagram and things like that, I don't mind someone hitting me up in a DM and going like, hey, I've got a question or something like that. There have been more people that have responded over to this panel in particular, and a few of them that not here, but back over in FanX, like this next year, that they started out by listening to this panel. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, we're great, but it's like they started out and then all of a sudden started actually getting work. If you guys have questions, feel free to go and reach out to us after this, and we'll try our best. Like there's times where people send me demos that they're working on or different like auditions, and it's kind of another thing, like we try to pay it forward. So it's like, if we hear you doing good work, yeah, we're gonna wanna like steer something your way if it doesn't apply to us at all.
Yep, for sure.
So,
Cool.
all right, the last.
You ready for the reveal?
Yes, the last thing. So again, because you guys are over here doing that, we've been actually doing this panel for now. Well, I started doing this panel in 2018, and I travel all over the country kind of doing this and things like that. And one of the goals has always basically been to like actually give you guys something a little bit more proactive to be able to go and go for. So about 5 months ago is when it started?
I started speaking with them
Yeah.
a couple of months ago because I was looking to redo my demo, but they actually reached out because they like what we were doing, and that's what resulted in what we're about to show you.
Yeah.
So
So it's something where when looking over at classes, there was one place that we kind of mentioned a whole lot, and that is Real Voice LA. That promo code gets you, was it 10%?
I think so. It's a discount on their classes.
It's a discount over specifically on classes and things of that sort. They can't discount the demos, but everything else does get discounted. Now, the more that people use that, the more that they're willing to go and bring that down, because normally, most of the time, these companies don't really do a discount code. They'll do like a special offer, like, oh, we'll just knock it down $100, but they won't really do that, like do something like this. So yes, it's something where we're trying to go and like help you guys out. We do not get anything from this. This isn't like, oh, we get like a percentage from you guys start. No, our goal is quite literally been to like help make voice acting a little bit more cost effective for you guys. So like I already got one message back last week of like someone already using it for a class. So again, I definitely encourage you guys, like they go through all different types of topics, whether it's anime, whether it's video games, commercial, just like equipment. Get your guys like as much training as can be. So.
And they're really cool about it. So
yeah,
they love this. They love teaching. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here, this is where we're going to open up the questions. Question. So we've got that. Do we happen to have a roving microphone? A wireless one?
Roving microphone?
No? Okay, that's fine. So if you do have a question, feel free to go and come up over here, just so that way we can actually hear you.
There's a microphone over here.
So there's a microphone right over here on the left-hand side. Whatnot. Thank you.
Feel free to line up or, whatever's easiest, so we can hear you guys.
All right. Hi, and my name is Benji. This is my first time here. And the question I wanted to ask that you might get a lot is, how important is like advertising yourself, keeping like social media presence, especially as someone who doesn't often use social media?
Neither do I. All right. I've only recently kind of been being a little bit more proactive over on social media. It's not the most crucial thing, but I will say it does help. Okay. Right now there is more of a push where a lot of like influencers and content creators are getting more work. But if you want to have longevity, focus more on your skill set and focus more on like the equipment and understanding how to actually act. Don't do the VA thing. You're going to make me laugh.
I didn't move.
Okay.
I did not move. You should do it, though.
I'm not gonna.
Good.
But yeah, it's something where like focus over on your acting skills from there, and that will get you farther ahead than just being great with, a picture.
Yeah, like obviously networking is good. I've heard that a lot, but just having a general social media presence, like, nope. So this is always really good to hear.
There we go.
I will note or add in as well, not to just like completely write off social media. It does have its usefulness because like I do see pretty frequently audition requests up on Twitter. I do see links to Discord communities that are catered towards voice actors, and in those communities you can find auditions or people that are looking for like specific demographics to audition. So it does have its merits, but using it as a tool for advertising, I don't really see it as often.
Yeah, good. Because either way, usually what I do is I browse Twitter, not just for memes, but usually if I find something good, I put in a private Discord, so I save it for later.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Feel free to get right up over on the mic.
So I noticed that you had mentioned Audio Technica 2020 and 2024, but I had gotten a 2035, and I didn't know what the differences were between the microphones. So I was hoping you could kind of clarify what the differences were between the microphones.
Specifically, like the Audio Technica line?
If you know, or yes.
Yeah, so...
Because I don't know if what I got was bad for voice acting, because I have the 35.
Yeah.
And if that's,
So the Audio Technica 2020, normally I bring the microphones with me. The Audio Technica AT 2020 basically like stands up and then faces you. It's a really good broadband sort of condenser, so it takes a little bit more of a vocal width, as opposed to like the 2040, which is sort of almost shotgun-esque. The 2035, what I would basically say, it's kind of a merger of the two as far as the internal diaphragm goes. It still is a good voice acting microphone, but what I would basically say is that you're going to change a little bit of where you're positioning yourself on the microphone. And a lot of it is also going to be based off of how high your high range is and your mid range. Your low range is going to be fine, but like let's say you're recording over inside like a closet. If you're getting your mid to maybe like 1 or 2, like a positive 1 or 2, you might notice it bottoms out a lot over on your wave file. So just realize like you might be sticking with your high and mid a little bit more so with the 2035 as opposed to the 2040, which again, because it's more of a shotgun, it kind of helps keep things a little bit more even keeled.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello. I had a question about like when it comes to starting out, I really want to like create a home studio of a sense, but I'm not exactly sure how I would go about like soundproofing or anything like that. Really, I think like how is the best way to create a space for you to actually record in?
Someone else should do this before I make a joke about it, so just go.
Why do I feel like it's a coming out of the closet joke? Because
Kind of.
building your studio in the closet.
Yeah.
I do it. I know plenty of others who have.
So I mean, you don't have to spend a ton to begin with. My first studio was literally PVC pipe, the $5 moving blankets from Harbor Freight, zip ties. And yeah, he's laughing because you don't want to spend thousands of dollars when you're starting out. So like you can look up tutorials, but I literally had a PVC pipe put together studio with like, I had like a light ring in there or something like that, but like that's all I used and it worked great. Stay away from windows, closets, the best place you can be. I have a studio now built into, like I had it professionally built into my closet in my house. If you don't have that, try the PVC and the moving blankets and things like that. Stephan's gonna make a joke though. He's holding it in.
Yes, so my recording studio is brought to you by Lego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I went and like now I do record over inside a closet and all that. But one of the best studios that I ever made was quite literally a stand-up life-size Lego crate. Okay, that I wound up putting like a bunch of foam over inside. I've got pictures over on my phone, but it's one of those where it captured the greatest sound because again, like wood itself actually helps insulate sound rather than completely refracting it. So it is fantastic. And if you call up most like shipping companies and things like that, like UPS or DHL and things like that, they get those crates all the time and they'll sell them for like $20. So that is worth actually calling. Like, just let you know, you sound like a serial killer when you're trying to go and get it. Nothing is like being on the phone with UPS. Like, you guys happen to have a wooden crate, like about this size, fits a person, and like, don't worry what I'm using it for. So yeah, there's that. But honestly, it works fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hi. I find that I struggle a lot while like recording and stuff with saying stuff like or like just mid-sentence and not realizing it. Like I'll replay the thing and then it'll be like just randomly in there. I was like, I didn't do that. Do you know of any ways to sort of get better at that kind of thing, like actively, I guess?
First thing that comes to my mind is get used to reading stuff out loud.
Yeah.
So like if you're reading a book, if you're reading online posts, read it out loud to yourself. And the more you get used to doing that, the less you'll notice that the ums, uhs, and like longer pauses are there.
Yeah, it's like that will definitely help you. And honestly, the more cognizant you stay of it, the better. Especially people will sit there and say like quite often. So if you kind of get frustrated with yourself, eventually, if you keep it a mission, you will stop, trust me. But yeah.
Just
Thank you so much.
So in talking to a lot of other professional voice actors in the past, I've often been told, oh, you need an agent. If you don't get an agent, you're never going to get a job. Like, yeah. So I wanted to know, and I can already pick up on the vibes, what is your take on needing an agent, needing to go to New York and spend all this money.
Well, we know Stephan's take. That was pretty clear. You really don't need an agent. Tabitha Garland, who's not here right now, has been on Crunchyroll. She does not have an agent. You look like you want to cry.
I'm gonna, but I'll wait.
Okay. Do you want to take your take on
Sure,
that?
like all of the voice acting gigs that I've gotten have not been through my agents.
Same.
At all. It's stuff that either I have found or I have networked to be able to either audition for or just get the role. The agent that I'm currently with also doesn't focus on voice acting and prefers that I do on-camera stuff, despite the fact that I have reiterated to her that I'm not against doing on-camera work. Like, I'm happy to do it, but voice acting is what I want to do, and I'm not receiving help in that direction. So I think you and I are in the same boat as where that's
I'm just
going.
sitting in the middle here like, what is happening?
Chev and I are with the same agency, and like I said, they do a lot of like on-camera things like that. I get hounded a lot, like not for voiceover stuff. They've gotten me absolutely nothing voiceover-wise, okay? And that's not to say that there aren't voiceover-specific agencies. Like Atlas Talent does a remarkable job when it comes over to voiceover. But again, you have to look at what they're actually going to go and do. And on top of that, it's one of those where when you do have representation, you're going... This morning, I got woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning because they're like, oh, there's this fantastic opportunity. Nothing like having your sleep completely broken for Walmart, okay? And not even like, oh yeah, they want me to voice. No, they want me to stand in the back of an ad, okay? So I would say like you don't need it for voiceover, but what I will say is if you do happen to go and have it, it can put you in touch with the directors and things like that that actually like get you, that actually have like works and things like that for. So like they might specifically not be able to go and get you work. However, they might put you in front of like a director that is doing something animated that does need a voice actor.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
So, my question will be about demos and reels. So, I hope this is interesting. So, aside from assembling the demos and reels yourselves, what else do you think contributes to a bad demo or reel?
Do you want to take that, Stephan?
Should I be offended that you immediately went, I don't care.
No, I just saw your facial expression. I'm like, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, not wrong. Really misplaced music. One of the weirdest demos that I had ever heard from someone else had like clown music to it. I don't know why. They were thinking like, oh, it's going to be like fun and comedic. And I'm like, nope, it sounds weird and creepy. Okay, so like your music sound like, the sound itself is weird. Also, things like your BPM, your beats per minute. So if every single bit that's been on that, like if every performance has been slow, and then all of a sudden you have one that is ramped up to like light speed as far as your performance, it's going to sound a little weird. You need to make sure that there's an actual melody to how things are going to be placed in there. You can have like one that's a little bit fast and then kind of bring it down a little bit or maybe speed it up, but don't go like a drastic change because it's actually jarring. The other bit is going to be the frequency that you use. Anything done over at, was it 48,000 hertz actually sends a ringing to your ears. So things like 44.1 or, or like, was it, I'm now forgetting the other range, but it's like those are actually going to be a little bit better. 36,000 are going to be a little bit easier on the ears.
Yeah, I'd also say not having a good amount of variety on your demo reel absolutely kills your demo reel. The whole point is to showcase your ability, and if you're just focusing in on like what you assume would be just your singular character type, you're only going to hurt yourself by doing that. You're just going to pigeonhole yourself into that without truly showcasing who you are.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yo.
This is kind of a day one question. If you're looking to get into the industry, but you don't know what you want to do in the industry, how would you navigate that? Like if you had just said someone that's interested, like you're saying like audiobooks or anime or stuff like that, is it kind of like a job is a job? Or do you like market yourself as a certain niche of an actor? Or should you aim to?
I mean, I would basically say like day one, you should figure out what exactly kind of voice acting you want to do. Like for me personally, as much as I love anime, I don't want to work in anime voice acting. But it's something where I love working in commercials. I get audiobooks very frequently, but at the same time, like it's not nearly as fun, but I do like anime characters. So sitting down, figuring out like, oh, well, I feel like I would actually kind of want to do audiobooks. And it's like, great, do research. Like before you start buying a bunch of stuff, do research. Like even listen to an audiobook and see how the performance sounds to you and how like, ooh, I'm kind of similar to that. That will actually do you far better than immediately trying to like jump all in.
Gotcha.
You can take classes too and see what you enjoy doing. If you see something that interests you, like if it's classes based off of video games, you're like, oh, I think I'm going to be interested in that. Take some of those classes and see how you're feeling about it. If you decide like, oh, this is great, I'm going to keep doing this, then great. Not loving it, then maybe pivot and look at something else.
Yeah, it never hurts to go out and see what's out there, because even some various types of voice acting has been introduced to me via the different classes that I didn't really either think of or knew that existed. So don't be afraid to explore what your options are, and from there you can really figure out what your career goals might be from there.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And we've got a few more minutes. So we've got like 2 questions or so, but even at the end of this, we'll probably like stand out over into here. You guys are more than welcome to keep asking us questions.
So I had a couple rapid fire questions. You mentioned to use an XLR and not a USB. Can you explain why an XLR is preferred over USB?
Yes. Okay. So an XLR, the 3 prongs that are over inside your XLR, you've got power, you've got a ground, and then you also have basically almost like what's going to be a frequency kind of register from there. It gives a deep tonal quality as opposed to something that is only exclusively digitally converting over to the file. So when it comes over to, like, let's say you're recording from a USB microphone, it digitizes and then compresses your voice before it ever gets to your interface. So it's something where, again, you're going to have that level of compression. It's going to sound a little tinny and things like that, whereas your XLR, it's just creating the clear audio. So again, it's a much more rich tone. It's also uncompressed.
And on the equipment panel, you mentioned an XLR cable with copper inputs. Are there other kinds of inputs, and why is copper preferred?
The other kinds of inputs?
It said XLR cables, in parentheses, copper inputs.
Copper inputs for actual.
Oh, yes. So there are different types when it comes over to the actual like metal wiring. Copper just delivers the clearest actual sound. So it's a little bit more common, but you will notice that there will be a little bit of a price increase to go with a copper plated XLR. And again, it's just one of those where it's like, if you want really, really great sound, go with something like that. I mean, you're still only going to pay like $13 for one that's maybe like 8 or 9 feet, but that's what I would tell people. It's like, go for one that actually is copper plated.
All right. Thank you very much.
We have time for like 1, maybe 2 more questions in here, and then we'll be outside and be able to answer those for you.
Hello. Do you have any advice or tips or even exercises to help for vocal range? Because I find myself only doing like bass type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best things is basically just going to be like, realize your voice is, it not only is it a tool, but it's something you actually have to practice, you actually have to work out. So if everything that you're doing stays within your vocal range, that's good, but it means that you're not really going to be above that. So like one thing that I wound up doing a lot of, I had a coach that made me basically speak over at this for an entire day. And all of a sudden I realized like, oh my God, like it's stressing out my voice so much. So it's something where now I do specific exercises that work on the muscles that are around my throat. And that actually helps broaden my range itself because it means I can sustain a different vocal pattern for a longer period of time.
Something I have done personally is I started taking like singing classes with a private coach. So that both helped increase my vocal range in both directions, but also helped me learn a new skill set that is still adjacent to voice acting itself. And there are plenty of voice acting roles where they are looking for people who can perform like as an actor and as a singer. So it only just helps with getting more tools in your toolbox that can further your career later on.
Perfect. Thank you.
There we go. Okay, I will let you guys know we do have to go and end the panel right over here. Real quick, we're gonna do a quick little shot. Like if you guys are comfortable, I'd like to go and get you guys in the shot. So kind of like a selfie that way. And then after that, like I said, we'll be over here and take, a bunch of questions that way. Sound good?
Cool.
All right, cool.
Woo. Everybody try to squeeze in a little bit here.
Yeah.
Thank you for cooperating.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do this on 3.